An earlier UN study described the level of killing as unbearable and suggested both sides used children as a means of warfare. The armed conflict began in 2011 when President Bashar Assad refused demands to step down. In Afghanistan, 6 policemen have been shot dead at a checkpoint in the country's south. It's suspected that 2 of their colleagues, who are missing, may have killed them and fled. If proven, it would be the latest in a series of so-called insider attacks where Taliban insurgents infiltrate the security services. 2 trains have collided in suburban Buenos Aires, killing at least 3 passengers and injuring over 200 more. The accident happened when one train slammed into the back of the other, derailing some of the carriages. The collision occurred on the same line on which 51 people died in an accident last year. Meanwhile, the French railway system has been crippled by a workers' strike. Up to 70% of train services are expected to be cancelled until Friday. The strike was triggered by plans to reorganise the state-owned train operators, which protesters fear would lead to job cuts. This just a day after air traffic controllers walked out, leaving thousands of flights grounded. RT's Katie Pilbeam now tallies up the financial damage.
For the holiday industry, these strikes are nothing short of a nightmare for Europe, which is in the middle of a financial crisis right now. It is a peak money-making season and a chance to earn billions of euros from tourism. These strikes coincide with EU Commissioner for Transportation calling for faster cost-cutting plans, as inefficiencies in Europe's airspace are said to cost airlines and customers €5 billion annually. Thousands of flights have been delayed or cancelled as a result of the backlash to new EU air traffic control rules, and all passengers will be expecting their hard-earned cash back. So I asked an aviation expert who is the most affected.
Certainly passengers will suffer a lot. They will unlikely receive any direct compensation from the airlines because cancellations are not due to the fault of airlines. This is due to the fault of air traffic controllers. And so airlines will not have to compensate them amounts which are prescribed by the law. At best, what they will receive is reaccommodation on later flights and then estimation of the personal cost of the passengers who have to sit for 2-3 days at the airport. Some of them will wait at home, some of them will be rebooked immediately, some of them will wait for a week maybe. That is very hard to calculate. And another big loser, of course, is going to be airlines. And airlines are extremely unhappy about this situation because they are losing directly revenues. So during those days that airlines are not going to be operating and then rescheduling air passengers for later time.
So despite the air traffic controller strike coming to an end, the economic impact set to continue. So as the peak of the summer begins, so does the chaos.
And with the EU's financial policies still the target of anger in the countries worst hit by the crisis, the President of Europe's Central Bank receives a Responsible Leadership Award. RT's Peter Oliver looks at some interesting times.